Hey guys, it's Class Wars Week for the month of March 2015, and so of course I'm going to do a little tune overview before prelims, and really just try and cover the places where either my tune has changed or has gained the most BR. And and definitely this month, the place where I've had the biggest improvement is through the Holy Forge, and there were a ton of Vulcan packs through the Coin of Ancestry exchange. I had 20 plus coins of ancestry. Some of my friends had close to 100 or over 100 of them and got a ton of material. So that's, when you see some of these bigger players with the huge BR gains, that's, I think, these days is probably where the majority of that gain is coming from. So for me, I think I already had, I definitely had the weapon already done. I think I had the armor done, or if not, I was really close. Um, but I finished the helm, which is a ton of defense, and I got a bunch of the brooch as well. I kind of regret the brooch. I definitely probably should have thought about the trinkets. But the gear pieces definitely give a lot more BR and a lot more stats for the same amount of Holy Forge material than the jewelry pieces do. So I guess I was prioritizing a little weird, but I'll definitely go for the trinkets next. And otherwise, where else have been the big improvements? I did do some gem upgrades, so I have some more big gems. At the moment, I have switched over to a Will Destroyer for Class Wars, which I want to try and start doing again, and I've made it a little bit easier with my Astrals to not have to spend as much gold each month to do that. So I'll show that when I get to my Astral page. Um, but yeah, I definitely have some more level 12 gems, and my last video was on getting these clothing upgrades. It was surprisingly nice in World Boss to have that extra 8 rage, which was surprising to me. I was like, oh, 8 rage, I don't really care about these clothing upgrades that much, other than it's, nice. You get a Pope hat. I'm going to wear that Pope hat, own it, just as long as physically possible, because I think it looks quite regal. But anyway, otherwise, I think my resistance crystals have stayed the same. Dragon Soul resistance is really just, it's going to be a huge problem this month, and at least for Class Wars sake, and so I'm trying not to worry about it too much, but I'll explain why I have the Athena as well. It all has to do with me having really crappy dark resistance. I'll show you what dimensions I have at the moment. These are all my dimensions, and so I get really nice Electro ones, like all the time. Always getting really nice Electro ones, nice fire ones, and water. And it isn't even because I use so many of my dark dimensions. It's literally I don't get dark dimensions out of these boxes. They seem to have dropped the rates, and they also just refuse to give me dark dimensions. It's absolutely infuriating. I haven't seen an intermediate dark dimension in 2 months. I don't think I've even seen a basic. I think I had these 7 basic dark dimensions last month, and I finally got one dark advanced dimension, which was amazing. I thought it was a complete miracle. But then they bugged the game really badly, and I lost at least 1, if not 2 days of dimension energy, and so now I'm behind, and I won't be able to finish this dark dimension before finals. So that sucks, but there's nothing I can do about it. It's just Wartune being Wartune. So I mean, I'll still have this dimension for next month, which is good. So then I'll have some dark dimensions for next month. But this month, there's nothing I can do about my crappy dark resistance. So I have really nice lights, good wind, and an electro. But yeah, there's nothing I can do about having nice dark resistance at the moment. And with that said, I decided to go ahead and pick Athena as my prelim sylph, just because my dark resistance isn't going to get any worse, um, or it can't get worse than with me and having Athena on. And so I figure I'll see how much the bigger players hit me for with when I have Athena on, and that's as bad as it's gonna get. And so yeah, I'm kind of just using Athena as a gauge for how much damage I'm going to take, and why not? I mean, I just want to try a different sylph. My BR is still quite high. If actually my BR should be higher with Athena than it is with Gaia, so that's good for prelims. And and yeah, I'm just basically giving it a try. Um, I think not to be egotistical or anything, but I should be able to get through prelims with just about any of myself at this point. So really, it's a matter of making sure that my BR is high enough to get into the top 16 for finals, and just being as successful as possible, but also trying to gain some information about the other players and such. I know it's been a huge disappointment to people that I haven't done a second evolution to any of my sylphs yet. I do have some of the refinement materials, but I have 0 divinity stones, and I'm really hoping to be able to do my dark sylph first. And so that's because the dark sylph gets this passive. The light one gets one as well, but it decreases the amount of damage received by all elements by 10%, and then light damage received decreases by 20%, and then of course, well, not of course, but anyway, the light pet has the opposite of that, where it decreases dark damage received by 20%, and then also 10% against all of the other elements, and the 4 main elements do not get that. The non-dark light cells don't get that passive, and it's huge. It's really, really big, and very OP. And so I really just want to start there. If there are the fusion sylphs, which I know everybody's saying, well, like it's so many patches out. Just in case, these materials might take a really long time, and that stuff might come along. So I just want to get the dark and light pets out of the way, and maybe I'll do electro in between, but or wind. I really like if I could pick any of them, I would probably pick wind to do, but it sounds like the most fun. But I hate it. I wish I could just get materials for all 6 of them right now, because I feel like I there's a purpose for all the sylphs except for Cerberus, and I want to be able to refine all of them at once, and so yeah, I feel really bad having to pick, but at the moment I'm picking Gaia. I'm picking the dark pet. Um, so yeah, those are the sylphs. And where else have I made some changes? I have been building up a will destroyer to level 10, so I have that so I can switch out determination and will destroyer, and I like a will destroyer build for PvP, and so I changed my gems, and I have a set of block gems that I put in there, and so I don't have to do a lot with gems. I only had to convert 1 gem. To switch to this build, so it's much cheaper. Before I spent in like 20 million gold every single time I wanted to switch builds, and so it was just too much. It was too expensive to keep up each month. But now I made it a little bit cheaper for myself, and well, actually, total it's not actually cheaper, but in the long term it will be. Um, so I do have this Holy Vigor. It was called Summer of God, but for some reason they changed it, which is critical plus penetration. Took that out, put in Holy Fortitude, put in the Will Destroyer, but I'm usually a crit build for the majority of the month. And yeah, my BR actually went down a little bit when I switched to that Will Destroyer. It was like 785 or something like that. But otherwise, pretty pleased. My BR, it's competitive, but it's not outrageous. Um, as far as the top players go, the last class I would ever want to play are knights because they seem to be cashing it up plenty, and there's not all, okay, there's many, many, many of them, well over 800 KBR. With the mages, I think there's maybe a few, but yeah, I could probably count the mages on one hand. I hope. Jeez, I hope. Um, so anyway, there's my tune. If I missed anything, go ahead and ask me in the comments, and I'll let you know. Otherwise, um, hmm, anything big? I think. Well, guild bonuses. I don't know why I did that guild boss battle points because, if I'm gonna lose to Robin, I'm gonna lose. If I'm gonna beat Robin, I'm gonna win. The extra 2% isn't really gonna do much. But I went ahead and did one of those levels. Did 2 intel and 1 defense, and yeah. Um, Talents. Uh, went ahead and just build this. I actually just got this to 18 today, which allows me to get well, any of these stats to level 10. And now I have Thunder Fury at level 10, which means that my Thunder has a 100% chance to slow, or at least it should. And then increasing Ice Bolt's damage. And then after that, I think I'm going to go for Fire Mastery. I did do a video on all of these. I think these three are total garbage, and this one is sort of garbage. But I guess I'm just going with whichever one. I find them all kind of ridiculous, but I just went with the one that I think is the most interesting. So I think next, once I finish this one for Ice Bolt, I'll do Fire Mastery. So yeah, I think that's about it. Let me know if there's anything else you guys want to see. Good luck in prelims and finals if you get there. Take care and have a very good day.